Hi, this is Elder Joseph, and I'm going to talk to you just briefly about Doctrine and Covenants, section 101, verse 4, as it was published in the 1835 and 1852 editions. This is what it says. Inasmuch as this Church of Christ has been reproached with the crime of fornication and polygamy, we declare that we believe that one man should have one wife, and here we go, and one woman but one husband, except in the case of death, when either is at liberty to marry again. Now then, you won't find this in a current edition of Doctrine and Covenants. Okay, it was taken out in 1876. So you might wonder, why was it there in the first place in both the 1835 and 1852 editions of Doctrine and Covenants? Well, quite simple really. Joseph Smith and early Mormon leaders were being accused of practicing polygamy, secretly, which is what they were doing. And this is a typical response. Times and Seasons newspaper. Here we go. This is what they printed. Inasmuch as the public mind has been unjustly abused. Yeah, of course. Since when was telling the truth abusing people's minds? Anyway, they're going to refute Dr. Bennett's accusation now by quoting from the book of Doctrine and Covenants. And they go on to quote section 101 verse 4. Here it is. Inasmuch as this Church of Christ has been reproached with the crime of fornication and polygamy, we declare that we believe that one man should have one wife, and then the other bit, and one woman but one husband, except in the case of death, when either is at liberty to marry again. Now, bear in mind that this newspaper was printed for church members. These men were lying to their own church members at the time. But not only that, they're obviously lying to the public and the investigators as well. But this is sinister stuff. And here we go again, Times and Seasons. What an ironic title, Truth Will Prevail. And there they are quoting it again. Inasmuch as the Church of Christ has been, reproached with the crime of polygamy, blah, 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 we believe, blah, blah, one man should have one wife. A total bunch of lies, a canonised lie, and a whole, system of lying. And these are not isolated cases. There are many examples like this. You can easily find them on the internet. Here we go, using D&C 101. And it wasn't, just something of Joseph Smith's time. It was 8 years later. John Taylor was at it as well. He was actively preaching in France, debating with Protestant ministers. And of course, polygamy is going to be brought up, especially if the public know what these men are really up to in secret. And what does Apostle John Taylor do? This is what he said. These are his words. We are accused here of polygamy and actions the most indelicate, obscene and disgusting, such that none but a corrupt and depraved heart could have contrived. These things are too outrageous to admit of belief. Well, of course they're outrageous. So how does John Taylor respond? Well, he says, I shall content myself to reading our views of chastity and marriage. Well, they're certainly not his views. They are our views, but not the LDS Mormon Church views at the time. Their views were different. They were polygamists. Exactly like Warren Jeffs is a polygamist. Same system. Warren Jeffs has the same leaders that he looks up to: Joseph Smith, John Taylor, Brigham Young, etc. Anyway, John Taylor goes on to quote section 101, verse 4, we declare blah 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 and all the rest of it. But not only did he deny it in public like this, but he actually printed it in his own pamphlet. And of course, who was he printing the pamphlet for? Well, to deceive his own church members. Simple as that. Church members were being deceived. The public was being deceived. Investigators were being deceived. And there's the title of his pamphlet, 3 Nights Public Discussion, printed by Elder John Taylor. There you go. These things are easy to find out on the internet. You can contact Fairs and Farms. I'm sure they'll be able to confirm that all these things are true. But no doubt they'll try and have an excuse prepared for it. So if you want to know the Mormon angle to it all, just go on Fairs and Farms apologetic websites. So this is it. So this is a Mormon church. It has a foundation that's built on lying. And I don't believe it's any different today.